In the very heart of Bali, far from the tourist-filled beaches and serene rice paddies, lies a place few dare to venture. Deep inside an ancient temple, choked by jungle vines and forgotten by time, there was a mask. It wasn't just any mask. This one was carved from a single piece of teakwood, its features painted in shimmering gold and what locals whispered was real blood. They had a name for it, Topeng Seton the Demon's Mask. Legend says this mask was a sacred tool worn by high priests during forbidden rituals. It was their bridge to the spirit world, a way to speak with entities that dwell just beyond our sight. But with great power comes great temptation. One priest, consumed by a lust for control, decided the sacred laws no longer applied to him. He wasn't content with just speaking to the spirits. He wanted to command them. He used the mask not to summon, but to trap them within its wooden confines. With each spirit he ensnared, his power grew. He could command the shadows to dance to his will, summon torrential rain from a clear blue sky, and see glimpses of the future. But this power came at a terrible price. The mask, now a prison for vengeful spirits, began to feed. It didn't want offerings or prayers. It wanted his soul. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, it began to twist his face, molding his features to match its own demonic grin. His skin tightened, his eyes widened, and his smile became a permanent, horrifying rictus. When the temple elders finally discovered his blasphemous acts, their judgment was swift and merciless. They declared him an abomination, a stain upon their sacred ground. They dragged him to the center of the temple, and with the mask still fused to his face, they burned him alive. The temple itself became his funeral pyre, and the mask was buried deep beneath the charred wood and ashes. They believed the curse was contained, the evil finally put to rest. But some things refused to stay buried. Years, perhaps even decades, passed. The jungle reclaimed the temple, and the story of the priest and his mask faded into myth. One day a foreign collector, a man with a penchant for rare and unusual artifacts, was browsing a bustling market in Ubud. Tucked away in a dusty corner of a vendor's store, he saw it. The mask, its golden eyes seemed to follow him, its carved smile both alluring and menacing. He had to have it. The old vendor, his hands trembling as he wrapped the mask, gave him a solemn warning. His voice was barely a whisper. "Tuan," he said, "never ever wear the mask during a full moon." The collector, of course, just chuckled. He saw it as local superstition, a bit of colorful folklore to make the sale more exciting. He paid the man and took his prize back to a secluded villa. That very night, the moon rose, full and luminous, casting an ethereal glow over the island. The collector, alone in his villa and perhaps a little bored, couldn't resist. He picked up the mask. He felt the polished wood against his fingertips, tracing the deep grooves of its smile. Ignoring the vendor's warning, he slowly lifted it to his face and put it on. What happened next is pieced together from the terrified accounts of nearby villagers. They said the screams started just after midnight. Not just one scream, but a chorus of them, tearing through the tranquil night. They were sounds of pure agony and inhuman laughter, all mixed into one horrifying symphony that didn't stop until the first light of dawn broke the horizon. When the sun was fully up, a few brave villagers cautiously approached the villa. The front door was wide open, swinging gently in the morning breeze. They called out, but only silence answered. Steeling themselves, they entered. The villa was in disarray, furniture overturned and glass shattered. And there, in the middle of the living room floor, lay the mask. It looked perfectly ordinary, just a piece of carved wood, but lying next to it was the collector. His body was cold and still, and his face was stretched into an impossibly wide, eternal smile. His skin was pale and tight, like it had been carved from wood itself. Today, the mask is gone from the market, gone from the villa. Some say a brave villager took it and returned it to the ruins of the old temple, burying it once more in its rightful cursed resting place. But the story doesn't end there. Locals who live near that stretch of jungle will tell you. If you happen to be walking nearby on a full moon night, and you listen very, very closely, you might hear a faint echoing laughter carried on the wind, and beneath it, another sound. The chilling, unmistakable sound of wood scraping against skin. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the shadows. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next descent into the unknown. Stay curious,